First of all, welcome and thank you for taking part in this video series for Cosmos Hub and for taking our time out of your busy schedule at Cosmos. I think a great start would be if you can give us an introduction about who you are and what are you working on, what are you building?
Absolutely. I'm Reece. I work as a protocol engineer and developer experience at Strangelove. We're a developer shop, and our focus is entirely on expanding IBC across both the interchain as well as into other ecosystems. And we're focused on improving the onboarding experience and building up the infrastructure needed for IBC to really scale out and become a multi-chain focus.
I think a good start to the question is just what got you into the Cosmos ecosystem? How did you come across it? How did you explore it?
Yeah, I originally came from the Minecraft background where I built up game servers, and we had a lot of success with this. And after a while, I was looking for a new job, and I found this new job called Craft Economy, and I joined into the team, and they needed someone who had experience with Minecraft but was willing to learn the blockchain side. And I came in to learn the Cosmos SDK and began to work on the core integration, where I led developers on the Java side with Minecraft and then figured out how to connect that over to the Cosmos SDK and had that product successful, and that was what pulled me into the Cosmos.
So yeah, I think I would want to know more about Spawn and how did the whole idea came to you, and why do you think it's super important for Cosmos, building on Cosmos?
Yeah, Spawn is a tool that allows for protocol developers or even developers that are just looking to get into Cosmos, and it allows them to build that up. And once they build up their chain, they just can get started. And before, it was a major pain point of spending multiple weeks of time, if not months, to set up a base chain, set up all of the testing, connect all of the configuration. It took a long time, and we were spending a lot of time on that, both at Strangelove as well as in the broader interchain. And what Spawn does is it takes all of the best tools that the Cosmos has to offer and puts that into one coherent product. And then with that, you can go launch out new networks based off of what you decide that you want for your protocol. So if you want proof of stake, you can select that. If you want proof of authority, you can also select that, or interchain security or other consensus layers that come out in the future.
You mentioned that you sort of came across Cosmos as as part of the project that you were in your previous work experience. Right? What do you think draws a lot of developers to Cosmos?
The deciding factor for me was seeing IBC work on Osmosis back whenever it launched. I believe this was early 2021 or late 2021 when Osmosis launched, and seeing how I had already touched the Ethereum and Bitcoin side. And it was okay, but it wasn't something I was super passionate about. But seeing a demo from the Challenger Station team, walking me through how the interface worked, how these coins just all came into one place, it just clicked for me that this was the way that made sense. And I felt like this was very similar, and looking deeper down the rabbit hole of IBC, realized that, hey, this has been proven before in the Web 2 world. We're just now bringing that to databases in this Web 3 context, bringing that extra security, and that's what really drew me into it.
Since you've been building in Cosmos for some time now, what do you think is the vision or the future of Cosmos in the coming 1 or 2 years? What are things that people can expect? Which direction it is headed?
I think the major focus needs to be on the developer experience, not only with building new protocols like Spawn does, but the actual teaching of how to use all of the tooling that's been built. This has been it's not been a major focus, and I think there needs to be more focus on building out these documentation sites, building out tutorials and videos showcasing how to use this tech, and abstracting away all of the IBC complexity and other features and show them here's how to build a product. And I think that's where the next focus needs to go on to. We have all the tech, let's now onboard the developers and allow them to showcase their ideas into a coherent product.
I want to jump into another batch of questions that are there. So we'll jump into ICS governance a little bit. Okay. So Spawn and ICS, I think I see them as two modules that are in Cosmos right now for fast onboarding of new chains, new projects in Cosmos. What do you think about this synergy between them? And any project that is thinking of launching on Cosmos, why should they utilize this?
Yeah, so Spawn doesn't care which protocol. We want the best focus for you. If your application, if you want a token with a proof of stake network, you can do that. If you want ICS, you can do that. We don't make that opinion for you. We set reasonable defaults for what most people usually want, but you can easily override those in the Spawn UI. With ICS is the security, and Spawn is that distribution, where the product is there, but we need to distribute it somehow, and that's where Spawn's focus is really at. How can we allow you to easily integrate ICS, where you don't have to go ask another development team. You, with maybe no experience, can go in and create an ICS chain, have it automatically tested for you, upload it straight to GitHub, and all of your verifications are already there. You know it works, and now you can go onto the ICS Forge website built by Informal and actually distribute this in a live testnet environment. And you can work with validators and things like that. We're also looking to work on a validator marketplace where you've built up your chain, but now how do you actually see where validators are? What are they going to charge you, etc. And with that, they'll be able to come in and be able to get the full distribution experience of Spawn and leverage ICS as your security mechanism.
You mentioned about how more and more chains are adopting ICS. I think we're at the 4th chain so far right now, the 4th consumer chain.
I believe we're on the 3rd, yes.
Oh, okay. On the 3rd. What can Cosmos Hub do more to incentivize more chains to use interchain security?
Yeah, while interchain security is great, again, the distribution has been the hardest part, and making it so that way that we can both upgrade networks, which is something that Strangelove is working on, to get to the latest SDK version 50 and in the future 52, and then be able to integrate the ICS with your current network in Spawn, where you just say Spawn, integrate, and then ICS, and you would go into a current code base and modify it to then integrate that. I think the distribution is the hardest part. And then once you get that, it is much simpler for new chains to onboard. Despite the complexity of code bases, they'll just be able to come in and decide that without having to go talk with teams like Informal and Haifa. While they do great work, the whole point of permissionless ICS is to really be permissionless, and that's the path forward, is we need to fix the distribution for it, and that'll help incentivize new consumers to come on as they can do it more quickly.
We'll do this rapid fire segment of sorts. Describe interchain security in one word.
Secure.
Secure, okay. But do you think ICS is more of a safety net or a growth accelerator in Cosmos?
ICS was definitely ahead of its time before EigenLayer and other restaking solutions came up, so it's definitely growth, but I think it's more of a safety net now for the hub, kind of as a base product there.
What's your favorite tool or tooling or dApp or a platform in Cosmos right now, other than Spawn, of course?
It's absolutely Akash. Akash has done an amazing job with the GPU marketplace. I used it for the Craft Economy project back in the day where we ran Minecraft servers on Akash. It's very cheap, it's very convenient, it's really easy for developers to just launch new Docker networks. I've been really impressed with the Akash.
What's one prop in Cosmos Hub governance that really got you invested?
Prop 16, I remember I was sitting in a Walmart parking lot at the time, waiting on gas to fill up, and I didn't know what was happening, but I don't remember what I voted on, but I remember it sounded big and crypto Twitter was kind of going crazy about it. And that was my intro into governance as a whole. I wasn't really focused on it before then, and then after Prop 16 and hearing all of the craziness and all of the issues that had happened, it really did pull me in and taught me more about things like Cosm and Juno.
Atom as a token, Cell or Compound?
Cell.
Which is one project for you that's like a dark horse in Cosmos?
Yeah, that's definitely Jackal. Jackal storage, it's kind of like Akash, but with the focus on private encrypted storage. I think that their team is very underrated, and Cosmos and their token is very underappreciated for what the tech that they've built out and how seamless the experience is, and what that team's focused on is really, really amazing.
This is the last bit, but do you want to give a catchphrase of sorts about building on Cosmos?
I think the simplest 2 words are build whatever. I think that you can come in and use the toolings that we've built out and build whatever you want. And the easier that we can make it to get where you can go from just an idea to having it in production. We're seeing this with the current IBC Ideathon, where people have the ideas, they don't know how to implement it. How can we make it easier for developers to implement it, where it takes you just a day to build a proof of concept versus taking multiple weeks? And building whatever is really the focus of what we need to be pushing to developers, and having an aggregate of ideas, and then from there pushing on to actually implementing them into production.
Thank you so much for this.
Awesome. Thank you.